This is the real estate agency disclosure and election form. I'm going to go over this as quickly as I can, but if you have any questions, make sure you ask me after. The first paragraph states that I cannot show you a home unless we have this conversation about this form and you sign to it. Reason for that is that our relationship, our connection, our agency is clearly defined. Sections 1 and 2 are very similar. One is for buyers and tenants, and the other one is for sellers and landowners. In situation where the buyer's broker is not representing the seller, they represent the buyer exclusively, and they expect to get paid for their services. Section A and B are pretty much the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're a buyer, tenant, seller, or landowner. This states that I have a fiduciary duty of loyalty, obedience, disclosure, confidentiality, and accountings in dealing with you, meaning get you the best price and terms that you want. And I could represent someone else, say your next door neighbor at the same time, or two buyers for the same property. Section 3, this talks about limited representation. There's different situations that can fit into this limited representation. The first one is like the most important and something that I have no intention of doing unless something unique happens. That would be if I represent both the buyer and the seller. Now, the reason you don't want a realtor to do that typically is because they cannot negotiate either way. So let's say the buyer wants to pay this and the seller wants you to pay that. I cannot help negotiate because I can't pick favorites. Now, another way of saying this is if one side is represented by me and the other side is represented by the brokerage. I don't worry about that because I can fight just as hard whether the other side is with my brokerage or with a different brokerage. Now, for sellers, I want to make sure that we pay a little extra attention to sections A and B. This states that the listing agent will not disclose confidential information without the seller's permission. The broker will not disclose information without written authorization, such as if they are wanting to negotiate the refrigerator or something like that. What is negotiated and how it's negotiated, that is up to the sellers. In the limited representation, here's where it just describes what I was referring to. There will be conflicts in the duties of loyalty, obedience, disclosure, and confidentiality. Disclosure of confidential information will not be made without written authorization. The same comps are given to the seller as that are given to the buyer, and who decides what number to come in at is completely without a realtor assisting in that process, which is pretty much why I don't suggest it. Regardless of who the broker represents in the transaction, I must provide reasonable skill and care in the performance of my duties. I also need to be truthful and honest about all known facts that are material or could adversely affect the other party's decision. The seller is not obligated to disclose, but the buyer can pretty easily find out. Number 1, if the property, the entire premises, was the site of a natural death, suicide, homicide, or any felony, or if anyone living there was ever exposed to HIV or AIDS, or if this property is located in the vicinity of a sex offender. Here in Arizona, those do not have to be disclosed. It is up to the buyer to do research or to ask if those are important to you. Now, the seller or the seller's representative may not treat the existence or terms or conditions of offers as confidential unless there's a confidentiality agreement. I don't recommend doing that. Here's the situation. If a buyer comes in here and let's say there's multiple offers and you got buyers here, 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 and here, I suggest we disclose that. That way, all the buyers can, go higher or choose not to. And as long as I have a conversation with the other agents, that's typically not going to be an issue. No one likes the bidding war, but if you say, look, if you want to win, go here, decide what you want to do, they're going to decide what they want to do, come in higher or make their terms better. This is in bold, so I am going to read this. The duties of the broker in a real estate transaction do not relieve the seller or buyer from the responsibility to protect their own interests. The seller and the buyer should carefully read all agreements to ensure that the documents adequately express their understanding of the transaction. The next page, election. What I get paid is a negotiation. That's what this whole section states. I have a certain amount that I expect to be paid for my services. You don't have to pay that. If you choose, you can find another agent willing to work for that amount. The next two little boxes, one is for the buyers and tenants, and that says, for example, line 48, I represent you. And number 50, this allows me to show you all properties that are for sale or rent, regardless of whether or not they're within my brokerage. For sellers and landowners, line 56 states that I represent you, not a surprise. Lines 57 through 59 states that all buyers, regardless of who their realtor is, can show your property. Again, not me, if that's not my plan. Line 60, you're going to check off which one you are, buyer or seller, and you sign it. If you have any questions, please ask. Don't make any assumptions. I am here for you. That is literally what I'm getting paid for. Thanks for watching.